Yo, what you saying,
Happening.
cuz?
All good, all good. And yourself?
You know what, cuz? I can't even complain. It's been a good weekend. Obviously, I support Man United, so the energy is always good. One, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, cuz, man, what'd you get up to, man?
Nothing much. Nothing much at all. Just chilling, enjoying my time with the family, and watching a bit of boxing.
That's what we're gonna get straight onto right now, cuz obviously we just want to take this platform to, big up all our viewers, everyone that's obviously on the show. Cuz we've obviously had a tremendous, weekend for boxing, of course. We had obviously the big championship fight, which we're obviously gonna review. But cuz I can't even lie to you, because it was obviously part of the build-up before we get into obviously me personally, I'll call it the Rumble in Wembley. But before we get into that, I just want us to quickly talk about the news that we've finally been waiting for. Obviously, Tommy TNT Fury is obviously going to fight Jake, the problem child, Paul. Cuz, what do you think about the fight? What's gonna happen? And yeah, cuz, what did you think about the sort of intro? You got to big up Queensberry and MVB Promotions for obviously what they did as well. I think it's a good way to build a fight. But yeah, what's your thoughts, cuz?
Well, somebody's O has to go.
Someone,
They're
oh,
both. Yep. They're both undefeated. Um, like I said, look, Tommy Fury, he hasn't really fought anybody credible, and nor has Jake. But then again, Jake's fought what, like the likes of Tyrone Woodley and his last opponent, who are ex UFC fighters. So you
yeah,
got to give him credit there. Yeah, but I strongly believe I'm more rooting Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul might do the job.
woo, cuz you know what, cuz this is why, like, it's crazy. I was saying the same thing, obviously, where when different sport groups, as you can imagine, and boxing gets discussed, and I'm not gonna lie, cuz I said, don't be surprised. Like what you've said off here, don't be surprised if Jake Paul does the job. Like, the guy takes boxing very seriously. He trains hard. You can see it. You can see what he's been doing with Amanda Serrano in terms of promoting her and also giving her the platform as well. This guy takes boxing very seriously, so you got to give him some sort of credibility. And like you said, he's been in there with fighters. Yes, it's not pro boxers yet, but he's now gonna be fighting a pro boxer, and we're gonna really see what Tommy Fury's made of. But also at the same time, we're gonna see how good is Jake Paul. Cuz that's what I wanna sort of ask you, cuz.
I think,
From
you
the
know, what?
fight,
I think Jake Paul
what
is
do you
a
think?
serious fighter. I honestly think Jake Paul. I think a lot of people underestimate him. I think he can fight. I really think he can fight, and I think the advantage that he's got on Tommy is that he's been more active. That's all. I understand that Tommy comes from a boxing background, a boxing family, but the reality is Tommy is not Tyson Fury. He just carries a name. You know, name me his top three opponents that he's beaten up, or credible opponents that he's knocked out, and I don't know. Jake Paul said you fought taxi men.
Taxi drivers. Oh man, when he said that, cuz
And,
I'm not gonna
and, and,
lie,
and not even that. I think obviously this fight is personal. Don't get me wrong. It's really, really personal. But I think already Jake is winning.
the
He's
mind
got it
game.
there. Mind games. He's winning already. But don't get me wrong. No, look. I could be wrong. Tommy could do the job and knock out Jake Paul and finish him. But something tells me, if this goes to points, then I'd be like, ooh, does Tommy really want to do this boxing thing?
You know what? I can't even lie to you, cuz it's absolutely gonna be crazy. The reason why it's gonna be crazy, because I don't know, the way they did the build up as well, it was like a sort of something that Vince would, tell his WWE wrestlers to do, before a big main event. You saw the trash talking, you saw what Jake Paul's obviously saying about the taxi drivers, like you said as well. Cuz it just feels like it's gonna be a big event. And look, big up both fighters, man, because they obviously create a lot of noise online, you know, through what they do. And I think it would be the best way to settle the score between both guys, because I think this it's a bit personal. You know, it's a lot of pressure going to be on Fury, but we can't underestimate Jake Paul. Like, we can't underestimate him. He's a decent fighter. Even Fury doesn't know, you know, like he basically, like I'm talking about Tyson Fury. He's like, look, he's on the fence. Like you just don't know. He's a decent fighter.
I don't know. I mean, my understanding that they've got a rematch clause.
Oh, what's
Yeah.
because we've said this about the rematch clauses. We've
But
had
look,
the conversation about this, man.
but remember, like, am I right in saying the A side is Jake Paul?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and this fight is happening in Saudi.
Mm.
Regardless, win or lose, they're both making money.
It's true. No, it's true, but it just makes. Don't you think? Because we've had this conversation sort of off air. We've had this on air as well about rematch clauses in contracts. Because don't you think, if you know in the back of your mind that, you know, regardless of what happens, there's a rematch, don't you think you'll be a little bit complacent? I'm not, obviously, we're not boxers, we're not in the game like that, but I don't know. I would be not complacent, but you just know that, oh yeah, look, I got a rematch clause, sort of thing.
I suppose it comes down to the results. So it's how you lose the fight. You know, it's just like, for example, do you remember when Wilder and Fury's first fight? And you know, it was a draw, but there was no rematch clause.
Yeah.
But the public wanted to see it again.
Yeah.
And when they'd done it, they had then put on a rematch clause. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them ones where, you know, you're generating more money again. And I suppose, again, it comes down to each individual if they want to rematch. So it's just like, it just goes back to my question. Do you think Eubank should rematch Liam, or should he go and take another route?
Whew. You know what? If you were going to ask me that question right now, cuz, and it's a very, very good question. Look, I think you got to right your wrong at the end of the day, man. You know, obviously, Eubank in his corner definitely believes that, you know, the second time round he can get the job done, and rightfully so. Liam Smith, you know, deserves that fight to be in Anfield, in his hometown. He deserves like to be the A side in that fight as well. You know, to come out second, and Eubank to obviously come out first, which is, you know, it's fair. He lost the first fight, so yeah, boom, have that one again. So for me, it does make sense, of course, man. But look, big up Palamos Music once again, brother. We obviously have missed you. He's asking, cuz I'm going to throw this question to you. So, do you think Jake Paul would beat KSI? This is the question that a lot of people want to ask, cuz, and I
You know
agree.
what? At this point, I would say yes, because he's been more active. Because look, he's even said him and KSI was supposed to fight. Obviously, before the pandemic, it never happened. Afterwards, it died out. KSI was doing his music, but then they were supposed to fight again this year. But KSI said, "Oh, he's willing to fight Jake Paul the end of the year." Do you know what I mean? Because he needs to get more fights. You know.
Yeah.
So at this point, now I'll say yes.
No, obviously, big up
Jake
Palamos.
is better. It's better boxer than his brother Logan.
Yeah, I agree. Jake Paul, we got to give him massive props and credit, man, because like he's doing his job in the ring. You know, whoever's been put in front of him, he's got the job done. But then at the same time, he brings entertainment in the sort of boxing world for what he does online as well. It feels like he's a WWE wrestler, like his brother. The way he's like, you know, charismatic. You know, he's doing his online stuff as well. And yeah, look, he's going to bring eyes, and obviously from a promoter's point of view, he's going to bring bumps to the seats, of course. But look, Palamos Music is obviously saying that he thinks that KSI would beat Tommy. Whoa, this,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This,
This is interesting. I mean, look, how I see it, the winner, Jake and Tommy, should challenge KSI then.
Yeah, I think so as well. Why not? Why not? The zone, You know, you got that platform already. I think it makes sense at the end of the day. But obviously, likely, what we would want from a look, we obviously grew up watching WWE, of course, man. You know, the storylines. We would love to see, you know, Jake Paul fight KSI because obviously KSI beat Logan Paul. There's a history behind obviously the rivalry, of course, and I think that would be obviously a good fight. I think Jake Paul beat Deji as well, I believe,
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah,
yeah.
come on, look, this is perfect for a promoter right now. So, cuz it's absolutely mad right now, but cuz you know we've done a bit of the taster, you know. But now we need to get into the main course, of course, which is obviously the big fight. Me personally, I call it the Rumble in Wembley, but it's obviously the unified light heavyweight championship review between Artur Beterbiev versus obviously Anthony, the Beast from the East, Yarde for obviously the unified light heavyweight championship. Cause firstly, what are your thoughts about the fight overall in terms of the atmosphere, you know, the build up, you know, what's your rating for the whole skeptical if you was going to give Queensberry Promotions a rating?
Do you know what? In terms of promotion, they've done all right. That should have been pay-per-view, I must say, because the main event was electrifying. Big up both opponents. You know, Yard done a good job. He done a great job. You know, he performed. His performance was on point. You know, unfortunately, he didn't get the win, but do you know what? He was close. He was close. Literally, if anything, right, he put it on Beterbiev. He put it on Beterbiev. I'm telling you now, like a lot of these, you know, light heavyweight contenders need to really put respect on Yard's name because, like, look, that what you saw there was world class. You know, it was, you know, world class. I mean, look, you know, he had Beterbiev hurt a couple of times.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? But Beterbiev, look, he's a machine, man. He's one tough Russian.
Trust me.
And I know some people say, you know, when he got knocked down, when he got back up, he should have continued. But you know what? His coach, remember, his coach is his eyes. His coach can see from the outside what's going on. At the end of the day, yeah, he's protecting his fighter. Do you know what I mean? So he done a good job there. So, you know, flowers to both of them, man. I salute what he done, man. At levels, like I respect that. Line in the camp, man. I respect that.
Yeah, definitely. Lions in the camp right there. Lions in the camp. Obviously, we've got Palamos music saying what a bang of a fight. Cause it was a tremendous fight. Big up, obviously, Stricto as well. He's obviously gassed right now because Arsenal are doing bits, man. So obviously, big up. He's doing tremendous thing with his content as well. So I had to give him a shout out, man. But cause I can't even lie to you. Obviously, I watched the fight with my boys. So obviously, big up Corey, big up Zach as well. It was a good fight to watch. And look, it was an amazing show. Like you said, it should have been pay-per-view. Like it had action, it had a bit of suspense as well. You know, Beterbiev showed his class as well. Yard showed his grit, showed his heart. Do you know what I mean? And Yard left it all in the ring. He left it all in the ring, and maybe could have gave a little bit more as well. But like you said, Tunde, his coach, you know, made the right decision. He's his eyes outside the ring, and if he felt that his man is obviously in danger, in trouble, then look, you got to rescue the fighter because at the end of the day, he's gonna, you know, want to fight on, but you got to help a fighter when he's in that state as well, man, because they're not gonna give up. So someone else has to, you know, do the job for him, man. So big up, like Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotions, obviously big up BT Sport as well for the coverage. I felt it was really good in terms of the build up and everything. And obviously big up the fighters, the teams as well. I like the respect in the end as well. But cuz like if we were to sort of break down the fight from sort of round 1 to 4, like how did you have it like
Do you
in
know
terms
what?
of the beginning?
I had it at a stage. I had it. It was a tie, but then I had Yard up on 2 points, on 2 rounds, should I say? It was a good fight. I mean, look, I believe Yard will become a light heavyweight champion after, you know, the belt's been vacated. That's what I believe anyway. But in terms of overall, he done well, man. I can't listen. Like, look, before the fight, when it got announced, a lot of people, was saying, "Oh, it's going to be an easy victory for Beterbiev." Mate, it was not an easy victory for Beterbiev. Beterbiev, I don't know if you clocked, every time one in his corner, he was praying. Do you know what I'm saying? It was not an easy, do you know what I mean? So it will just be interesting just to see, what Yarde does next. Because remember, his stock has gone up. Just by that performance, his stock has risen.
Yep.
His stock has risen. So technically, any contender that he's fighting in the light heavyweight division, he's the A side. Pretty much, do you know what I mean? But what's next? I don't know. At this present moment, I don't know. I mean, I suppose him and Bawatsi, that fight, we still want to see it, but we just have to wait and see. Because
you know what, definitely, cuz definitely.
My understanding, Callum Smith, he's next in line, so he's mandatory for the WBC title. So it'll be interesting just to see, like, if Callum does the job. Whoa, mate! Then, do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It could be Callum that might have to fight Bivol for the belts.
It's true. It's true. No, obviously, big up, man. Big up. Obviously, massive shout out to obviously Turtle he as well. Obviously, Yarde was magnificent of the night. And look, we agree with you. Yarde obviously showed grit. He showed heart. Lions in the camp is not just about, winning and, I guess he means it from a mindset point of view, man. Lions in the camp, you're a lion, you're in the camp, you're about to obviously get the job done. You got to make sure that you leave everything on the line, and that's what he did, man. So big up Yarde, man. Like, I was super impressed with his performance. I felt that he gave it his all. Nothing to be ashamed of as well. Yes, it was a stoppage, but there's nothing to be ashamed of, because I reckon the fight that he had with Beterbiev, I reckon that's Beterbiev's toughest fight to date. He did push him, even though he stopped him in the end, but he did push him to that level where he's done that, man. So
Beterbiev even said to him that it was a tough fight. Beterbiev said it to him. It was a tough fight because he wasn't expecting that at all. Do you know what I mean? But well, hey, it'll be nice if they could run it back again. But it is what it is.
You say run it back in Russia? That would be, it might have to be a Creed thing. You might have to do a Creed thing. I know it's like a bit of a fantasy movie thing. You've done it once, go back there. You know what I mean? But obviously we're talking fantasies right now, man. But cuz let me just ask you, man. Putting your promoter's hat on. You obviously are Beterbiev's manager or promoter in this situation. Who are you looking at next to fight?
Bivol. It just makes sense. Bivol. Both from the same country. Not just that, both of you are both champions. Because, like, look, fighting a mandatory challenge, someone like Callum Smith, he can just ruin the whole party. You know what I mean? So I'll say Bivol. And then, once we get an undisputed light heavyweight champion, hopefully then, the belts get vacated. That's just me.
No, it's a good point. I can't even lie to you. It's a good point. I think we got to see a undisputed, light heavyweight champion. We need to see it, and I think Bivol versus Beterbiev. I think, I'm not gonna lie, Yarde has shown a little bit of a blueprint for Bivol, because Bivol is obviously going to be the natural boxer. In this situation, he knows how to create the right angles, and he's going to land shots. So it could be quite a frustrating night for Beterbiev, but at the same time, Beterbiev is very durable. A lot of people underrate his boxing ability as well. He's got a very good amateur background. Him fighting, Usyk a few times in the Olympics. So I think it's going to be a top fight, man. But cuz if you were Frank Warren, Yarde just had a tremendous fight. his stocks has risen, even though he didn't win, his second, title shot. But what next? You got Buatsi, you got Smith, who could, fight a
You know what?
mandatory. Who's next?
I'll probably go for Smith. You beat Smith, the next in line.
You're back in the mix. Yep.
You're back in the mix. Do you know what I mean? Don't waste time. Don't waste time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, Palamos is saying the same thing as well. Could his next fight be against Joshua Buatsi? That's what I'm saying. It could.
You know, it will be interesting, but I believe Joshua Buatsi is trying to go for the belts now.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, look, like I said, the winner of, let's just say, Bivol and Beterbiev, whoever becomes, undisputed, vacates the belts, and you never know. Buatsi and Joshua could fight for one of the belts or for all of the belts. You never know. Do you know what I mean? So it's just interesting. There's just so much. That's going to be happening in this division.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, bear in mind, am I right in saying Tommy Fury, he's in the same division as Yarde or not?
So, no, it's not even a gimmick or nothing, but there's levels, man. There's different levels to this, man. I don't think them men are not ready for that. They're not ready for that smoke, man. Them man showed the levels last night, man. But look, obviously Palamos has obviously got a good question here. So we've never seen Joshua fight like Anthony did last night, right? Cause so it's a good point. That fight against who did he fight the other last year, man? Spider,
yeah.
Buatsi. That was it did test him, but it didn't really test him like Yarde's fight yesterday. So like, what do you think?
We'll just have to wait and see.
Buatsi, can he dig in? Has he got the grit to dig in?
I can't comment on that because I don't know. We just have to wait and see. I mean, I don't know who's his next opponent because he should have been fighting Liam Smith, but obviously Liam Smith, he's next in line for a world title, so he'll probably take that route. But it'll be interesting.
Callum.
Sure, Callum Smith.
Yeah. No, therefore, it's going to be an interesting one. I think the light heavyweight division is looking juicy, and look, what we can all say and what we can all sort of agree is that at some point, Yarde, if he carries on, improving, if he carries on, with that heart that he has, I think he will eventually be champion. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion. He showed a lot in that fight against Beterbiev. No shame at all. When sort of fighters are in those situations, they feel a type of way. I like the way he conducted himself after, in his post interview. With shades on, glasses, had the team behind him. Look, big up. I like that energy because you could tell it was just genuine. It's not robotic, not a script. He didn't have his PR team tell him, "Oh, you have to talk like this." And no, it was just him speaking from the heart, and you got to respect that, man. So I liked it, man. It touched my heart. So big up, man. Big up, man. You got to respect it. So obviously, look, Palamos music saying that Yarde's heavy-handed, and Beterbiev got cut as well, man. So look, he did get cut. That was quite a deep cut as well, cuz, man. It was quite a deep cut, man. So you got to give Yarde respect for how he delivered on the night, man. But cuz, obviously, what we wanted to just sort of just get a little touch on anyway before we close up. Usyk, Fury, they've obviously been going back and forth. You obviously saw Fury at the fight yesterday. And look, obviously, big up Chisora as well. We haven't obviously mentioned it, that I think he's involved in the Jake Paul and the Fury fight in a promoting and a fighting perspective. So you got big up on that end. But look, what do you think, man? Do you think the public, the fans, are we gonna get this undisputed fight? Is this gonna happen?
I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, if it doesn't happen, I mean, who's next for Fury? Who would he fight next? unless he's going to wait for the winner of Wilder and Ruiz. Yeah, because my understanding is the fight was supposed to take place in Saudi, but it ain't, and the fight is going to most probably take place here in the UK. But the only problem is that I think Usyk wants 50% split.
Ooh,
I mean, to be fair, it is fair because look, he's holding the majority of the belts. I mean, come on, let's not be greedy now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I understand from Fury's team point of view, is that Fury's one who brings in the audience. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them ones. Is it going to be 50-50 or is it going to be 60-40?
I think it should be 50-50, cuz, man, because at the end of the day,
both undefeated.
Yeah, both unbeaten. You know, Usyk's got 3 out of 4 of the belts. You know, obviously Fury's got the WBC belt. Is he still the Ring Magazine champion, or is that gone over? Exactly. Usyk holds the Ring Magazine championship as well. Cause I think 50-50 split, if this fight happens in the UK, is deserved, in my opinion. Both guys are going to be winning anyway. Come on, it's going to be a big fight.
Because Fury, you know, he made a bold statement, said if the Usyk fight doesn't happen, he will fight Joe Joyce. But having said that, Joe Joyce is going to be fighting Zhang.
Xing. Ooh, all right. Yeah. Now, when's that looking to happen, or did you see any dates?
I don't know. I think maybe March, April. I'm not too sure.
Boy, you know, boxing right now, cuz we're very blessed because there's so many, you know, fights to look forward to. Cuz I can't even lie to you, man. I'm just excited. I can't even lie to you. I'm just excited, man. We got literally Paul versus Fury next month. That I think that's going to be huge. You know, we've got some potential fights that's coming up as well. You know, Tank Garcia that's coming up. You know, cuz did you hear the news? Is there anything you know, obviously online to do with like Spence Furman? What's happening there?
Oh, no, I ain't really heard nothing. No, I'm not really excited about that. Is it Lee Wood and what's that guy's name? The one who beat what's his name? I've forgotten his name. The Mexican dude. He beat Josh Warrington.
Oh, what is? Are they looking to get on?
No, they're fighting. I believe. Is it next month or March?
Oh, yes. Yeah. What? So Lee Wood is finally defending his title.
Yeah. That's gonna be a bang. That's gonna
be a bang. Fight. Remember that knockout last year was knockout of the year, I believe.
Oh yes.
Fight of the year as well against Conlan. Massive, especially the build up, the way them two were going head to head. You know, Conlan was like so confident, and like it was perfect. I can't even lie. That was a massive fight.
I'm also looking forward to the rematch with I've forgotten their names now. Oh wow, the junior welterweight champion
Katie Taylor. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano.
No. Sorry, Jack and
Jack Catchwell and Josh Taylor.
Yes. That's the fight.
Isn't it postponed due to the injury?
Well, no, it's been postponed, but I'm looking forward to that fight. That's a fight like I'm really looking forward to. Is the outcome going to be the same or different? Well, when I say different, I mean like, are we actually going to have somebody knocked out?
Cause that fight, remember we watched it together, man. That fight was mad. That fight, look, I thought you know, Catchwell won that fight, in my opinion.
100%, yeah.
A lot of people thought that as well. So this second time round is getting juicy. Remember they were at ringside together for the Eubank fight, man. So you know it was personal. It's a mad one. It's definitely a mad one, man. But obviously we're coming up to the end of the show, cuz once again, big up to our viewers, everyone that's subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for the support. Look, guys, the ones that are sort of you know, looking out for us in our socials, stay in tune. We're obviously going to be promoting last week's pod and also going to be promoting, you know, some of this pod. So just stay in tune with our socials. We're obviously going to put the details on the screen right now. So follow us on all platforms. So Twitter and also Instagram. We're going to be putting the previews on there, man. But cuz, what you saying? What you saying? How you going to wrap up the show for us?
As usual, you know, remember to like, share, and subscribe. We're here every Sundays at 7:30, and have a blessed week. Until then, we're out.
We're out.